Sooners building the Stonewall? Who's all coming through in the transfer portal? We got to talk about some recent news that's just dropped around the transfer portal. Players visiting, players that's not visiting, players that have withdrawn from the portal, players that have entered, all that good jazz. So we're going to talk about that real quick. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners over there, BetUS TV. Check them out. They're going to hook you up with all of the analysis and odds you're looking for. Just search here on YouTube, BetUS TV. So, it's been a busy weekend. Hopefully you all joined us for the live stream on Sunday. We dished on the David Stone situation. We went in depth on one side. We also went in depth on others. So it was a fiasco, but the beauty of it is that no matter what, David Stone is staying home. So, of course, I'm excited. I'm ecstatic, and I have zero reasons to be upset. It was weird, and I'm just glad that we were able to figure things out and keep one of the best players out of that class home. So that's really the most I really want to say about that. There's so many components around it that I have no clue what it means. But I'll tell you this. We're all just excited for the fact that David Stone is staying. So we'll just leave it there, right? Next up, though, Oklahoma is busy in that portal. So there's some visitors that were slated for today. I want to dive into who those particular people are and why you need to know about them. But first, shout out to the partners at BetUS TV. Go check out their YouTube channel. They're going to hook you up. They give you all the odds and analysis and breakdown on, everything in the gambling world. Like, for example, for Oklahoma winning the title this year is still at plus 7,000. But that doesn't mean the Sooners are out of the game. As we're adding components from the portal, Oklahoma may have a really good chance of shocking the world. So if you want some breakdown on that, check out BetUS TV. They hook you up with that as well as NBA analysis because the NBA playoffs is happening. So search on YouTube, BetUS TV. Oklahoma's got some visitors. First and foremost, big one that we talked about not too long ago, Jalen Stone. The other Stone was trying to build the Stonewall, right? Defensive lineman out of Southeast Missouri State, 6'2", roughly 290. It appears that he will no longer be visiting. It may have something to do with David Stone withdrawing, but I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't think it does. I think it's a different situation. And that other situation is that Ricky Lolohea is actually going to visit instead. Ricky comes from Euless, Texas. He is from at Utah State now. He entered transfer portal on the 18th. Oklahoma extended an offer on the 19th. And now he has scheduled, which was Saturday, he scheduled his visit to pull up today. Former Texas kid, which of course y'all want Texas kids like this, right? He's 6'3", about 330 pounds is what he's listed here on 247. And you always want some big stuffers like that. The connection here is a couple of folds. One, he played at Oklahoma State as a true freshman, transferred out to Utah State from Oklahoma State. So he probably has a relationship with Kendall Daniels. Next piece is because he's coming from Utah State, his defensive coordinator was who? Nate Drilling. Yes, sir. So he may have seen something in this kid the minute he got in the portal and said, hey, Jim, I would like to have him on this team. I think he'd work great with Todd Bates. I think he'd be a great stuffer in the middle for what Oklahoma is trying to do. So Ricky is expected to be visiting today. If he decides to commit, we'll drop a video the moment we find out. But it sounds like he's going to be here, and I bet you Nate's going to have a massive influence on him picking Oklahoma. So keep your eyes on that. Let me know what you think. Hop in the comments. So Jalen Stone's not coming. Lance Mason, the tight end from Missouri State. We talked about him over on Locked On Sooners in a little bit here. But he's a tight end that is supposed to be pulling up 6'4", roughly 240 pounds. And he has some, statistics that players like that you all, was probably into. Last year, 34 catches for 590 yards and 6 touchdowns. He was the top pass catcher in FCS via PFF. And I want y'all to understand this. I said FCS, and a lot of y'all going to be upset. I don't know why. The spring portal is typically when you find mostly FCS players moving up, because unless you're going to be, you can't recruit within the SEC, and most of the kids that are coming from other conferences, not that many of them you're going to be going after. So, but you go after some, just not a whole bunch. Like, for example, Keelan Marion, the wide receiver from BYU, we did extend an offer. He's the return man at like 38 returns for like over 800 yards and 3 touchdowns in his career. So he'd be a great return guy to have. We extended the offer. We're going to wait and see. Hopefully he visits this week, but everybody named Mama's after him. And the fact that we probably could not guarantee any type of wide receiver snaps, because if our guys do come back and the guys we do consider we're very high on, it's going to be tough. But the good thing is a player like Lance Mason just adds one more piece to the tight end room, and we can figure out what the heck we got. And honestly, some of the other receivers, Cade McIntyre as well as Caden Helms, you can kind of move them over to be like slot receivers, or try to, work them in more wide receiver type stuff, because they've got the height and the ability. It's the health, and you just got to make sure they're agile enough to do it. I don't know. We'll see. But I think Lance Mason is one. The goal with him is we kind of want a guy that can catch. The good thing is that with Lance Mason, the one thing that really jumps out to him is he's from Rockwell, Texas. And Rockwell is just outside of the Dallas Metroplex, and it appears he has a relationship with John Mateer. So if Oklahoma wants to add another component to this room that has ties to their current quarterback, this might be a good pickup. Might be. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. But he's supposed to be visiting with Ricky Lolohea. So, and I think we're working on a kicker. I haven't seen the name of the kicker we're trying to get in town, but I know we're working on a couple of kickers. So we'll see how that goes. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. An emotional Easter weekend. Hopefully you all enjoyed time with family. Thank you all that pulled up for the live stream. We did some major numbers and it was great chopping it up, especially arguing about candy. If you want to hear that argument, check out the back end of that live stream, because yeah, we had a blast arguing and talking about candies. So make sure you check out our partners at BetUS TV here on YouTube. They're giving you the best odds and analysis today, especially with the NBA playoffs going on. Go check them out. They'll break down the numbers and let you know what makes sense to go on. Gamble responsibly, but check them out. Search YouTube, BetUS TV. And I'll have more videos once we hear more news. Hopefully we hear something soon. We'll do a breakdown of the rooms once the transfer portal ends, which is Friday. Portal ends Friday. We'll talk more in detail about what targets we may still have and what the depth charts look like. I'll put together my post-spring depth chart, and then we'll do a fall camp one like we always do. And then we'll prepare ourselves for a busy late May and June. May is quiet period in recruiting. June is when you go OV season. So every weekend we'll have a lot of players in town. And so I'll make sure to break that down for you all. We'll chop it up next couple of days. Peace.